All right, so as you can see, we are doing inequalities, and it's not a heck of a lot different than what we've been doing, but I wanted to make sure we took a little bit to make sure we're good on this. So when looking at this first part, it says inequalities and graphing inequalities. So do you see how there's a number line and you have a dot on 3? That means that x equals 3. Just x equals 3, nothing more. Okay? But the inequalities that we are going to look at is going to include numbers more than just 3. Maybe it's 2, maybe it's 3 or 4, maybe it's 8, maybe it's 12. Okay? So it says this sign is less than. So we are going to put that sign in our circle here. Greater than. And if you've ever seen these before, you'll remember that alligator mouth opens up to the bigger number. The alligator mouth opens up to the bigger number. So this is less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, this is equals, and a equal sign with a slash through it means not equal. Okay? So it says inequalities when two things are not equal or could be equal. So it says place an open dot on 9. That's what they did for you. Decide if the dot should be colored in, if the equal is part of the symbol. So because there's no line underneath this one, right? There's no line here. That's why it's not colored in here. That's why it's blank. Then because it's numbers greater than 9, that's why it goes to the right. Okay? So if we follow that same thing, we're going to do the next one. It says, place a dot on 10. See how this one has a line underneath it? That's why it's a closed dot. We're talking about any number that's smaller than 10. So those are all the numbers to the left. Okay? Now we're going to look at the next page. Okay? So they want open circles. So we're going to place a dot at 2, and there's no equal sign underneath it, so it's going to be just a plain old circle at 2. It's a really big dot, my bad. And we're looking for any number greater or less than 2. So is 1 less than 2 or is 3 less than 2? 1. So our line is going to go to the left. Okay? Excuse me. Then we are going to go to the next one. We're going to place a dot at -3. There's no line underneath, so we're going to leave that open. And then we are going to put our arrow to the right because it's numbers that are bigger than 3. Okay? And then we are not going to worry about that. Don't worry about that one. Okay? All right. So now we're going to look at closed ones. So it says x equals -1. X equals -1. So we're just going to put a dot at -1. We don't have any inequality sign there, so it's just going to be there. For the next one, it says x is greater than or equal to 2. So we're going to put a dot at 2, and we're looking for numbers bigger than 2, so that means that we're going to the right. Okay? So we're going to do a couple of these together, and then I'm going to have you do a couple by yourselves. So look at the first one. Let's put our dot on the number. So we're going to find 3 and put a dot there. Is there a line underneath that 3? No, so it stays open. We're looking for all numbers less than 3. Is 2 less than 3 or is 4 less than 3? 2. So our line should go this way. And make sure that you have the arrow on these lines. That means that it keeps going. Where I stop isn't where the numbers that would go into that stop. Okay? For the next one, this time we are going to put it at 3. However, there is a line underneath it. So we are also going to close that circle in. We're looking for any number bigger than 3. So is 2 bigger than 3 or is 4 bigger than 3? 4. So we are going to go to the right. Okay? Try and do these two together by yourself. Try and do those two by yourself. Miss Davy, pause the video, let them work. All right, welcome back. So you should have plotted a closed circle at 5 and an arrow going to the left. You should have plotted just a plain old dot at 2. Okay? I'm not worried about this. And I'm not going to worry about the last one. All right? Now, looking at the bottom, instead of it being there for us, we have to write it ourselves. So, let's start with our variable, and let's start with our number that the sign is on, or that the dot is on, sorry. So this one is 1. Okay? Now, are the numbers going less than 1 or greater than 1? Less than. So this sign right here tells me that they are less than 1. Is the dot closed in? Yes. So we should have a line underneath our inequality. Our inequality should have a line. All right. So now look at the next one. I have my X already. I'm going to put a -1 because that's where the dot's at. Now, is 0 or is -2 or 0? Which way does it go? Do the numbers get bigger or do the numbers get smaller? They get bigger. So we want to make sure that our alligator mouth is opened up to the bigger number. And -1 has an open circle on it, so we are going to just leave it as it is. Okay? We are almost done. Keep on working. Keep on working. So it says, which inequalities would have a closed dot on the number line? Well, the ones with the lines underneath and the equals. Which ones would have an open dot? Well, obviously the ones that we just used aren't going to be it. So it's going to be the other ones. Okay? I'm going to have you try a few more. Miss Davy, pause the video. Try 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Welcome back. You should have had an open dot at 7, and your arrow should have been going to the right. You should have had an open dot at 4, and your arrow would be going to the left. You should have had a closed dot at 1, and your arrow should have been going towards the right. I think we're doing a lot better on this. I'm excited. I'm excited. So, I'm not going to worry about the word problems, okay? Let's look at the multiple choice, make our lives easier. Which of the following graphs represents the inequality of x is greater than or equal to 5? Well, because it has this line underneath, which 2 could you automatically take out? This one and this one. Which one shows greater than 5? D, good. Okay? That'll be it for notes.